It's Monday. It is January the 13th. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. Big story right now is the mild air moving in, but the other big story is that it's really going to cool down, and by the weekend, Tom, we're going to be back in the freezer.
Yeah, back in the freezer again. This polar air sinking down, and very careful outside. Slippery. When I left Georgetown, it was -2. Now I know Pearson was around +1 thereabouts, but it's really slick in spots. Driveways. If you're driving around yesterday, you look at people's driveway, sheer ice. So you're going to have to really watch where you step.
Well, take a look at these temperatures. It is so mild out right now. I dressed in my parka this morning because that's just what I do, but I certainly didn't need it. We're looking at
in here later on today.
Yeah, we are going to see some wet weather, which will kind of help melt more of the ice. Now, I know flooding has been a serious issue, not only for us, but areas further east where they saw incredible amounts of snow. So roads are, well, yeah, like you said, slippery, bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Potholes. Yep. Toronto's famous for them, and here's a good view of one. Literally, a really good view of one. So mind you driving today, because as Tom was mentioning, could be a little slick. We'll talk about the long range. How cool are we going to get? Those details just ahead. But first, here's your commute. Well, we're still looking at mild conditions tomorrow. We're looking at 3 degrees for the city, and then by Wednesday, that's where we start to feel the cool air come back in. We're looking at -2. -3 for Thursday, and by Friday, we're looking at -2. By the weekend, we really cool down and starting to feel like the minus teens again. Now, we do have a series of systems coming through the lower Great Lakes this week, and in total, we could see up to 15 centimeters of snow.
This weather segment.
Good morning. It's Monday. It is the 13th of January. Thank you so much for taking some time out with us this morning. Tom, guess what the temperature was on this day in 2005?
Let me think. Don't have a clue.
18 degrees.
Oh, man.
18!
I knew I loved that year.
Could you imagine if it was 18 right now? How happy I would be?
Celebrations in the streets.
It would be
dancing. I know, it really would. That would be nice. But anyway, we're not even close. We're going to be around 5 degrees.
But we are kind of close.
Okay, well.
This time last week, remember what we were?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know.
Let's take a look at our current temperatures. We're sitting
5. So it's going to be on the plus side of 0. Melt continues. So rivers and streams could be a little dangerous. Be careful.
Yeah, roads are just a mess too. We're seeing a lot of storm drains kind of clogged with that icy, snowy mix. And flooding for some homeowners has been a bit of an issue for their backyards and getting into their basements. And it hasn't been great. The good news is that we're going to cool down again to stop all this flooding. We're going to be back in the freezer by next weekend, and I'll talk about that.
Oh, that's good news.
Well, you know, it is for people that love winter. Wow. So just be very cautious if you're out taking the dog for a walk or you've got kids playing near the river. Maybe not such a good idea for the next couple of days. We'll talk about the cool down. We'll throw out some temperatures for you to love or not so much. Right, Tom?
That's right. She's embraced winter. She's going down south soon.
Here's the big cool down. 3 degrees tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. It gets worse. -2 for Wednesday. Thursday, we're dropping down to -3. And then take a look at the temperatures by this weekend. We're going to be -6 for Saturday, but feeling closer to -14. So more Arctic air is going to be flooding its way in through the GTA. We do have some sunshine in the forecast this week, but we also have a little bit of snow. We've got 3 different clippers that are going to be moving through southern Ontario. After the deep freeze and a healthy amount of snow, most of us were looking forward to mild temperatures. But an abrupt change from dead of winter to early spring has a dark side. Now I'll tell you how much longer this mild spell is going to last within the next 20 minutes. Weather extremes are never good, no matter what the season. And a high of 43 degrees was feeding this deadly wildfire in western. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast and let you know when we cool back down in just a few moments. But first, here's Tom with an update on traffic. It's Monday. It's the 13th of January. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. Tom, it actually happened.
What happened?
January thaw, saw someone in shorts.
No.
Swear.
Really?
Yep.
Pushing it.
Totally.
Really?
Totally.
But anyway, still.
Yesterday.
But still.
I know.
You know, it's going to be +5, 6 today.
It's not short weather.
No.
I mean, the guy could have been exercising. I mean, he could have been going on a run. I saw him when he was walking, so, I mean, he could have just been taking a break from his run.
Did he look confused or anything?
No.
He was in the wrong season?
He wasn't crazy.
Oh, okay. All right.
It was just what I saw. Now today, again, not short weather. We're seeing a daytime temperature getting up, like Tom was mentioning, 5, 6s. I don't even know, a death trap pretty much. It was awful. I mean, she was managing. She was kind of like Bambi on the ice.
I went out and fell with Max the night before last.
How's
And
your back?
It's fine. I just got soaked. But the thing is, he looked at me like, what are you doing down here? You know, he looked at me right in the face. What are you doing down here? I said, oh, okay. I got back up. So I wore my studs last night. They make a big difference.
Well, I think everybody is going to need a pair of studs today because it is still going to be quite slick on sidewalks. I know. But you know what? There's a crew going out today. There's going to be about 40 or 50 crews going out today to actually fill these potholes. Extreme weather contributes to this type of road condition. Not good. Not good at all for Toronto drivers. But the good news is that most of the potholes are going to be filled by the end of the week. We'll talk about the cooling temperatures by the end of the week. But first, here's Tom with traffic. Well, we're cool for at least one more day. We're mild for at least one more day. See how used I am to talking about cold weather? 3 degrees for tomorrow, and then we cool down. We go to -2 for Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, cool air starts to migrate in, and by the weekend, we're actually going to feel like we're in the freezer again. Temperatures feeling like the minus teens. Now, we do have some snow on the way Tuesday overnight and into Wednesday, and then again Thursday into Friday for the GTA. Now that we are enjoying these mild temperatures of the January thaw, I thought I'd take you back to the cold for a moment. I know, you're thrilled, aren't you? We're talking about really cold, and we're talking about cold pretty much all year round. We're talking about Antarctica, and our very own storm hunter, Mark Robinson, is joining George Karunas, and they're actually traveling there right now. Now, did you know, the coffee break on our website, did you know Antarctica's record low temperature cannot be entered into the Guinness Book of Records as it was recorded by satellite rather than an actual thermometer, but still incredibly cold temperatures in this area. Take a look at this tweet from George Karunas, stormy skies over the Beagle Channel. Now, that's kind of their starting point to take the boat over towards Antarctica. Another picture, this is Mark Robinson. You can follow him at Storm Hunter TWN. You can just barely see it, but that's the ship that's taking us to the Antarctic. Hashtag TWN Antarctic. So if you want to follow them, throw in that hashtag. You can find out all sorts of really cool information from them. They're going to be posting pictures and video. Now, because they're on this boat that's taking them all the way, and here's just a map, just in case you didn't know, Antarctica's down there. They're traveling all this way. They're really going to be limited to Twitter. So in the next couple of days, I mean, this is happening until the 21st of January. So we are going to be updating their information. And if you're ever interested in a vacation to Antarctica, well, then there you go. You can follow them and you can get all the latest information. All right, here's Tom right now with an update on traffic. When winter gets too warm, nervously watching rivers rise in the east. After the deep freeze and a healthy amount of snow, most of us were looking forward to mild temperatures. But an abrupt change from the dead of winter. Weather extremes are never good, no matter what the season, and we'll continue to follow that story right here at the Weather Network. Right now, we're going to join Kevin Yard. He's in Hamilton, Ontario this morning. And Kevin, you look like you're dressed for spring. It must feel absolutely balmy out there compared to this time last week.
Trip your way.
Well, the January thaw is not good enough for everybody, so I know a lot of you are probably thinking, let's go south. Let's get away from this wintry mess and head to, I don't know, Puerto Vallarta. Let's go to Mexico. 32 degrees, tons of sunshine. Los Cabos, 24, tons of sun. Punta Cana looks great, 28, sunshine. If you're off to Jamaica, Montego Bay, 28, tons of sun. In through the Bahamas, well, a little bit of rain, but still 30 degrees through Nassau. And the Rania, 26. The Weather Network's It's Monday. It's the 13th of January. It is mild, but we have a cool down on the way, so enjoy this air while we have it.
Yeah, boy, it's still icy out there, though. It's still not mild enough to melt everything away.
No.
And the driveways and some of the walkways, sidewalks, some of them are terrible.
Be really careful today.
Be careful.
We're going to be checking in with Kevin. He is in Hamilton this morning. And Kevin, you look like you're ready for spring. You've got your ball cap on, your light jacket. You must be loving the temperatures today. Thanks, Kevin. Now here's a look at the rainfall forecast. Kevin was just mentioning those showers, and they're going to be coming in later on this afternoon through tomorrow morning. We're looking at less than 5 millimeters through much of the GTA, areas further north up towards Trenton and in through Kingston, 5 to 10. So, yeah, light rain. It could help melt a little bit more of that snow. We'll talk about your long-range forecast. We'll get into the cool down by the weekend in just a moment. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads? Not quite. We're going to see 3 tomorrow, so still relatively mild, but then dropping. -2 for Wednesday, Thursday -3, Friday -2. The days we have -2, the days are going to see a little bit of snow. We're talking trace to a few centimeters through much of Toronto, but through Hamilton we could see up to 5 centimeters Tuesday overnight and into Wednesday. Hi there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It is Monday. It is January the 13th. Enjoy the mild air while we have it because it is going to be short-lived.
Yeah, unfortunately, more cold air on the way. But anyway, some of the snow is melting, some of the ice is melting, but not all of it. Very slippery underfoot and under wheels, so be careful.
We've got Kevin. He's joining us in Hamilton this morning. And Kevin, are you doing a fashion show for us today, or what's going on? Because about 20 minutes ago, you had on kind of a light spring jacket, and now you've chosen your lighter winter coat. Or has it just caught up with you, and you thought, oh, I was being too brave earlier? Monday. We're going to join Kevin Yard now. He's in Hamilton, Ontario, down by the water. And Kevin, such a difference a week can make. This time last week, you were freezing. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us. It's Monday. It is January the 13th, and it is mild out. You'll need that light jacket, possibly some gloves this morning, but that's about it. You can put that winter parka back in the closet. Now, we do have some rain on the way, so if you're just heading out, grab your umbrella, maybe even wear your rain jacket today. Less than 5 millimeters through the city of Toronto and most of the GTA, where we're going to see heavier amounts, like 10 millimeters is up towards Trenton and through Kingston and over towards Peterborough. But for the most part, it's not going to be a bad day. It's going to be mild. Temperatures bumping up back into the plus area. We're looking at about 6-7 degrees through much of the GTA. Now, over the weekend, where when you've got those weather extremes, the thawing and then the freezing and then the thawing and then the freezing, roads end up looking like this. The good news, however, I was reading that crews are going to be going out today to fix all of these potholes, and they should be all filled by the end of the week. Fingers crossed, right? Well, temperatures are going to be cooling down. Warming up, cooling down, warming up, cooling down. It's literally been a roller coaster these last couple of weeks. Last week, we're rigid. This week, we're turning to closer to seasonal values. We're looking at 3 degrees for tomorrow. By Wednesday, -2. We do have some snow on the way. Tuesday overnight and into Wednesday, Clipper moves in. GTA seeing close to a trace, a couple of centimeters, enough to make the road slick on your Wednesday morning commute. Places like Hamilton could see up to 5. Thursday, we're looking at some sunshine and -3. And then by the weekend, notice our temperatures, they're drifting back down into the minus single digits, but feeling closer to the minus teens when you factor in the wind chill. So Tom, open up that freezer door and jump right back in.
Yeah, winter returns, unfortunately.
We're going to join Kevin Yard now. He is live in Hamilton, Ontario this morning. And Kevin, this time last week, or I think the last time you were in Hamilton, there were some guys out on the water. Today, not the case. Good morning. It's Monday. It's January the 13th. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It is a very mild start to the day. I wore my parka today. Certainly not needed.
No. I mean, you probably could have gone with a lighter coat for sure, because it really is quite nice out there. But it's all about to change.
It's melting. Things are going to get very slippery, but we're going to freeze back up again by the end of the week, and I'll talk about that in the long range. We've got Kevin. He joins us in Hamilton. And Kevin, I don't know if it's just wet underneath your feet right now or if it's incredibly slippery, but it looks kind of like you should have skates on right now. How funny would it have been if you wiped out right there? That would have made for some great live TV. A little bit of rain on the way this afternoon, and tonight, if you're heading to the Raptors game, well, could affect the drive, that's for sure. But we're looking at less than 5 millimeters, so not incredible amounts. Up towards 5 to 10 millimeters through Trenton, Kingston, over towards Peterborough. We'll talk about the numbers. We'll get into your long range. How cold is it going to get by the weekend? I have the answer coming up. But first, Tom, any major delays to let us know about? Mild for at least another day. We're looking at 3 degrees for tomorrow. Clipper moves in tomorrow night into Wednesday. That's going to give us some light snow throughout the GTA. And maximum amounts, we're looking at about 5 centimeters. -3 for Thursday, and then the cool down. We've got Arctic air filtering back in through southern Ontario, so we're looking at temperatures minus single digits, but feeling closer to the minus teens when you factor in the wind chill. Sunday. Now I'll tell you how much longer this mild spell is going to last within the next 20 minutes. Weather extremes are never good, no matter what the season, and a high of 43 degrees. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast and let you know when we cool back down in just a few moments. But first, here's Tom with an update on traffic. It's Monday. It is January the 13th. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. We're in like the 60-day range for spring. We're like 60
days away?
65 around there. I don't know. I haven't done the math lately, but that's where we are at.
That's 2 months or so?
About that, yeah. Yeah.
It can't happen soon enough.
Okay, check out this guy. Spring-like conditions these last 2 days. Yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere near the ice today either. Okay, temperatures are going to be mild enough this afternoon that we're going to see straight rain with this next little system coming through. Less than 5 millimeters for the city of Toronto. If you're heading to the Raptors game tonight, this could be affecting your drive downtown. 5 to 10 centimeters through Peterborough towards Trenton and in through Kingston. Later on in the week, we've got more snow on the way, and I will talk about that coming up in your long range. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads? You got it. More like a roller coaster. Up and then down and then up and then down and then up. Well, you get the point. We're looking at 3 degrees tomorrow and then dropping. We're going to -2 for Wednesday. We've got a clipper coming in Tuesday overnight into Wednesday that will give us trace amounts of snow, just enough to make your Wednesday morning commute a little slick. Another clipper moves in for Friday. Again, a few centimeters of snow, and then into the weekend. That is where we open the freezer door and jump right back in. Wind chills making it feel like the minus teens. After the deep freeze and a healthy amount of snow, most of us were looking forward to mild temperatures. But weather extremes are never good, no matter what the season, and a high of 43 degrees. We're going to join Kevin Yard now. He's in Hamilton, Ontario this morning. And Kevin, looks a little slippery. You should have brought your ice skates. It has been a temperature roller coaster. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Monday. It is January the 13th, and it is another mild day. Now, over the weekend, we really saw fluctuation in temperatures. On Saturday, we were seeing daytime highs close to 7-8 degrees. And then by Sunday, we were back in the low single digits with temperatures through the overnight. Storm drains cannot handle the amount of moisture that is moving through them right now with all of the ice and snow buildup. Throw some rain on in there. Mild temperatures. You've got melting. It has just been an absolute mess. Rivers and streams, they're running high and fast. By tomorrow, we're back into sunshine, but cooling air behind this cold front. Here's how it plays out. It's a very, I don't know, I want to call it a weak system. It just doesn't have a lot of moisture associated with it through the GTA. Temperatures behind this cold front are dropping. Winds are switching to more of a northerly direction. New clipper comes in. This one is going to be responsible for bringing snow. Yeah, the roller coaster of our temperatures continue. We'll talk more about your long range forecast coming up, but first, here's Tom with a look at your commute. Here's what's trending on Twitter. We're going to focus things on January thaw. AJ Dobelman said it happened. Saw someone in shorts today. Hashtag January thaw. That's just a little crazy in my opinion. Lorianne Q said all the snow in my yard is gone. Sad face. January thaw. Don't worry, there's probably more on the way. Winter's not over yet. Pepper Blue spent an hour breaking up the ice and snow on the sidewalk and driveway. Honestly, it was just an excuse to get outside. I certainly don't blame you with that. And BJN said, I can finally smell fresh outdoors without my nostrils freezing. Hashtag January thaw, Canada. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on the Weather Network. It's Monday. It is January the 13th, and it is mild today. I wore a huge parka into work. Certainly not necessary.
Yeah, but you usually do that in June.
Ha ha ha.
You know, the weather cold wimp. Right here.
That is not true. This
is
year
so.
I have been embracing winter like crazy, and I'm not making it up just for the viewers.
It's hard to embrace it when you're wearing a coat like this.
Winter's got nothing on me when I leave the building. All you can see are my eyes and say,
yeah. Is that Emily?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, we got Kevin. He's in Hamilton this morning wearing a lighter jacket. And Kevin, you must be loving these temperatures in comparison to this time last week when we were literally sitting in someone's basement in their freezer with the door closed.
Yes, that's right.
At least they look like they're professionals. They know what they're doing out on the ice. The guy's got a suit on. They have the tent. I mean, I don't think they would go out there unless it was safe, right? Let's hope so. Okay, rainfall on the way for this afternoon. It is not going to be a significant amount of rain. We're looking at less than 5 millimeters. If you're heading to the Raptors game tonight, this could affect your drive downtown. People tend to drive a little slower when we have active weather, which is not necessarily a bad thing. 5 to 10 millimeters up towards Trenton through Peterborough and Kingston. We've got cooler temperatures on the way, and I will let you know what the weekend forecast looks like in just a moment. But first, here's Tom. Well, it looks cold. We are going to be seeing temperatures be mild tomorrow. We're looking at 3, and then they cool down for Wednesday. We do have a clipper moving through Tuesday overnight and into Wednesday. We're looking at a few centimeters of snow. Places like Barrie and in through Hamilton can pick up closer to 5 centimeters. It gets even colder as we get closer to the weekend. By the weekend, the wind chill's making it feel more like the minus teens. Here's what's trending on Twitter. We're going to focus things on January thaw. AJ Dobelman said it happened. Saw someone in shorts today. Hashtag January thaw. That's just a little crazy in my opinion. Lori Ann Q said all the snow in my yard is gone. Sad face. January thaw. Don't worry, there's probably more on the way. Winter's not over yet. Pepper Blue spent an hour breaking up the ice and snow on the sidewalk and driveway. Honestly, it was just an excuse to get outside. I certainly don't blame you with that. And BJN said, I can finally smell fresh outdoors without my nostrils freezing. Hashtag January thaw, Canada. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Monday. It is January the 13th, and temperatures, well, they've kind of been like a roller coaster or a seesaw in these last couple of days. They've been cold, and they've been warming up, and then we drop down again. Well, the roller coaster continues. Over the weekend, we saw daytime highs go cast. Here's how it plays out. We've got a system moving through later on today. This is giving us rain along the cold front, a little bit cloud cover through this evening and overnight. And then tomorrow morning, it'll really start to clear out and we'll be left with some sun, but cooler temperatures, only a high of 3 degrees. By Tuesday, we have another system moving through. This one, a clipper. It's going to be a fast mover, drop a couple of centimeters throughout the lower Great Lakes. Some areas could see up to 5, so it's not going to be an incredible amount of snow. Rainfall amounts less than 5 millimeters for the city of Toronto. Raptors game tonight. This could affect your drive downtown. Keep that in mind. Slower drivers in the rain. Looking at 3 degrees tomorrow and then -2 for Wednesday. The snowfall is going to be happening Tuesday overnight into Wednesday, so your Wednesday morning commute could be a little bit of a slippery one. We're looking at some light snow continuing through Hamilton on Thursday at -3, and then by the weekend, that's when the freezer door opens. We jump right back in. Temperatures are going to be in the minus single digits, but back to feeling like the minus teens when you factor in the wind. And by the weekend, we're going to be back into the freezer. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Monday. It is the 13th of January. Temperatures this morning are relatively mild for getting out and about, but you really need to be careful because it is slick out there. Kevin Yard is joining us this morning in Hamilton. And Kevin, if you put on a pair of skates, you could probably have a pretty good time this morning.
Yeah, we're ice fishing.
Thanks, Kevin. All right, yeah, I don't know if I'd be ice fishing today, but they look like experts. They probably know exactly what they're doing. Temperatures today are mild, sunshine, but cooler temperatures behind the cold front. Less than 5 millimeters of rain, and we are going to be seeing temperatures drop throughout the week. We're looking at 3 degrees for tomorrow, a little bit of sunshine, and then we've got a clipper moving in tomorrow night and into Wednesday, giving us some light amounts of snow. Now, we're looking at trace to a few centimeters for the city of Toronto, but places like Hamilton could pick up closer to 5, especially through higher elevations. Thursday, we return to sunshine, but colder temperatures, -3, and then a new clipper in for Friday. We're looking at -2, and the weekend, it is going to feel like the minus teens.
Cialis. Ask your doctor.
Here's what's trending on Twitter. We're going to focus things on January thaw. AJ Dobelman said it happened. Saw someone in shorts today. Hashtag January thaw. That's just a little crazy in my opinion. Lori Ann Q said all the snow in my yard is gone. Sad face. January thaw. Don't worry, there's probably more on the way. Winter's not over yet. Pepper Blue spent an hour breaking up the ice and snow on the sidewalk and driveway. Honestly, it was just an excuse to get outside. I certainly don't blame you with that. And BJN said, I can finally smell fresh outdoors without my nostrils freezing. Hashtag January thaw, Canada. The Weather Network's team of